Listen, honey, not everybody's against you. Not everybody. Mm-mm. But the folks that God had to allow to exit your life, the energy that they preserved was not good enough to be in the presence of the Most High. They wasn't willing to sacrifice what you sacrificed for the Lord. They wasn't willing to do what you came here to do, baby. Because listen, you got a calling on your life. You're chosen. You were chosen to come here and set the game straight. I'm talking about you were set here to set the record straight. It's like God just used you as an example. That's right. That's why you went through the trials, the things you went through. You went through all the troubles and the trials that you went through because you're the living testimony. And see, people can look at you now and say, they got through that. They went through all of this. They made it through it. Oh, wow, there really is a God. It was always meant for you to be the one that people looked at and said, oh, okay, if they can make it, I can make it. This is how it has been all your life. Since you came here, see, you never had the perfect life. You never had the perfect family. You never had the perfect job. You never had the perfect business, but you made it through. You made it through, big gangster. You always been there. Being strong as a lion, being fierce. Yes, that's what they love about you. That's why some people who have these demons are so attracted to you because you're light. See, the light that you have came from all the trials and the testings that you went through. See, you were tested and tried because the Lord knew that you were one of his strongest soldiers, baby. You are a victor. You're a warrior. You're strong and mighty, just like your father. It was always meant to be that, even though, like I said, those that had to exit out of your life had to leave. And sometimes it hurt. Just like I said, there's many things that have happened in our lives that hurt. That was that hurt. It really was. But it was a reason why you had to go through that pain in order to push you to your successful life, to push you into the calling and the purpose in your life. Understand that. It's amazing. Because if you wouldn't have went through that, you wouldn't be able to touch as many people as you have touched. No, baby, they wouldn't be able to respect you. See, it was like that when I had a pastor before. He didn't really tell people what he went through when he came and, he started ministering to us. He was a new pastor. He didn't let us know what was going on, what happened to him. How did he get to this place in his life? I couldn't respect that because he made it look like he was perfect. See, when you make yourself look like you're perfect and nobody sees the things that you're going through, nobody sees the things that you went through, the things that you made it through, they can't respect it, baby. They can't respect it. Why do you think that you can respect somebody on the streets who went through life struggling and finally made it? You can respect them because, see, you've seen them or they've told you the things that they went through to get to where they are today. You can respect it. See, they went through the mud, they went through the fire, but we already know that the fire only makes things refined. It only makes things more sharper. It makes us better and stronger. I love that for us, for the chosen ones, because baby, y'all already know that the chosen ones always gonna shine. We gonna always make it through. We are the chosen ones. I mean, what can you expect? What can they expect from us? Nothing but the best, nothing but the truth. And if it ain't the best concerning, and if it ain't the best when it comes to the worldly expectations of the best, it's still the best because we got through it. See, you've had people that looked at you like, wow, they keep going through it. They must be cursed. It must be something wrong. But there are many people who respect your gangster. They respect how you got through it, how you were alone. how people left your life, how you had to leave people's lives and be alone, or those people you had to leave and replace them with other people. You had to let go of those people who were in your life and in your family, who you were raised by. You know, you had to let them go. You had to actually let go of that. And that was hard. That was tough. Let's be real. That was tough. You had to actually detach yourself from some people who you knew all your life. Baby, that just lets you know how strong of a fighter that you are, how strong you are. But just because you had to let them go, just because they're gone, doesn't mean they're against you. It doesn't mean that. It just means you had to move up to the next level. You had to move up to something bigger and better. Because there's a better life for you, baby. See, God is trying to place you on the path. And see, when it comes to the path, I heard Sarah Jake say this today. She said, the longer you go on your path, the more narrow it gets. Some of y'all seen that. Some of y'all seen that sermon. It gets narrower because some of the people that came with you and started with you in the beginning, they are not there anymore. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the pressure. They couldn't handle it. So they left, they dropped right, and everybody was gone. And it left you and maybe a couple of others. And that path got narrower and narrower. Yeah. And it got tough. It got really tough. But there's always a reward at the end of that path. There's always a reward, even in the midst of the path. Like, it's still a reward even in the midst of the path. Like, that's what I love, because he rewards us even in the midst of it all. He rewards us. Oh my God. He rewards us. See, many are called and few are chosen. And those that had to leave, some of them were called, but they didn't choose to continue to walk on that path. They didn't choose to continue. They didn't choose to continue. They chose the exit left. They chose to take that exit. You know, there's Buc-ee's over there. I need to go get some gas. I need to go get some food. Oh, dang, there's McDonald's over there. Baby, they chose the exit, but you kept going. You were like, nah, baby, I'm fasting today. No, I'm trying to keep going. I'm still praying. I got to pray about going over there. I got to pray about stopping there. I got to pray about that stop. Because, see, you were fully loaded with God's mindset, with what he was trying to tell you to do. God is your navigation system, baby. He's your navigation system, not Siri, not her, not Alexa. Your navigation system is the creator. So you listened and you learned and you followed through. And see, that's where your reward is getting you to. This is why things are beginning to show up for you. Like I said, you may be hurt in the midst. Things may be harder for you because you know that you wanted to take cousin Joe, you wanted to take cousin Liz, you wanted to take cousin Ken, Karen, you wanted to take all them. But they didn't want to go. They had to go, they exited before it was time. And maybe that was the path that was for them. And see, that's what we got to realize. That path may be for them. Them exiting that way to go to McDonald's or go to Buc-ee's, baby, that might be the calling for them. That might be the path for them. So you had to release them, even though it hurt. Even though it hurt for you to release some of these people. That's their path. So what can we do? Keep going until we hear the Creator, the Most High, tell us when we need to go, which way we need to turn, left, right, forward. And most of the time it's going to be forward. It's straight ahead. You got to keep looking forward. Yes, honey. Oh my God. It just made me think of the time I was driving. I had a long drive and I was alone. And it was down this dark and narrow road. It wasn't a highway. It was a back road. And I'm like, is this the only way to get here? Because there's no lights. There were no street lights. The only lights that I had was the lights on my car. And this is like an older car back then. And you turn it on bright, it was not bright. It wasn't. It was not bright. And you know what I heard the Lord, because I was praying. And I got to crying. Then I'm trying to call my man when I had a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling him. I'm like, baby, I'm so scared. It ain't no lights on this street. I need some help. He on the phone, but I'm still calling on God. I'm still calling on the Creator. Like, baby, I need you to help me. He said, trust the light that is ahead of you. Sometimes you can't see too far and sometimes you can't see too wide, but just trust what's ahead of you. And that's what he spoke to me. It was a word in the midst of my trials. And I want you to know that, listen, you got to trust what you can see right in front of you. Whatever God gives you to see. You might not trust the process. You might not trust the fact that everybody else had to exit left. They had to exit the other way. They left your life. They gone. They not here. Maybe they had to go on to glory before time. You didn't understand it. But listen, honey, trust what is in front of you. I said it. Trust what's in front of you, because see, I know. I've been there. I had to trust the process. I had to trust what God was showing me right then and there. I did. And let me tell you what happened though. Later on, not even too much later on, I'd say probably 2 minutes later, but I'm sitting there so damn scared that it felt longer than 2 minutes. A big truck came behind me and he had on his bright lights. Thank God for the light. Thank God for his light, right? He came behind me and it's like he didn't try to pass me. He could have passed me because I was going slow, baby. I'm trying to go slow because I ain't trying to veer left. I ain't trying to veer right. I'm trying to keep it straight. So the big truck behind me stayed behind me and he had his bright lights on to help me to see the light. See, God sends helpers. God sends helpers even when your other people done left you. Even when the other people had to go on their own path. He'll send helpers your way. And I promise you, oh my God, I'm about to start crying. Oh my God, listen, he sends helpers. And sometimes those helpers are much bigger than we are. Their light is shining a little brighter because see, it says iron sharpens iron. Sometimes their iron is bigger than ours. Sometimes their light is bigger than ours, it's brighter. But they come along the way to help us to see the light. To see that we can become more brighter, that we can become bigger, that we can become more trustworthy, therefore we can help other people. Therefore, we can be the ones to stand behind those who are trying to see the light or trying to level up as well, to help others. And that's what God is saying. I'm sending those who can help you, those that do have the light. Because some of those people didn't have the light that you had. They had to leave and go gas up. Some of them had to go fill up on food because they wasn't well fed, right? Because when you're well fed by the Lord, of course, the word is the food. It's the bread of life. Well fed. When you're well fed, when you're well fed, you can get back on the journey. When you fill up, you can get back on the journey. But those were the ones that had to go that way and that way. But God will send people that were already on the path and they were sent to help you. Those that will stand in the gap for you to make sure you make it safely to your journey. Trust and believe. Just because they left, it doesn't mean they're against you. It just means that they have another path or they had to fill up more. They wasn't ready. They wasn't woke yet. As we say, they wasn't quite woke yet. They wasn't woke. God had to wake them up. But you know what? We don't hold that against them because see, we had to be there before. And just like the light behind me that helped me to see the way, that person was in my position before too. And they needed somebody. And like I said, this is metaphorically speaking, but as far as the light that was behind me, it helped me to get to the journey where I was going. And I thank God for the journey. We have to thank the Lord for the journey because we're going to make it there. The road gets more narrower, but he still sends helpers. He does. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be connected to those who are there to help you and who are able to, who are equipped to help you. Because some of those folks weren't equipped. But God is sending those who are equipped to help you on the journey. So be excited about it. Be blessed. Be favored because you are that. You're chosen. I told you, you're chosen for such a time as this. And yes, you are called and chosen. You are that. You are the light that someone else needs. So keep going, okay? Don't give up. I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Of course, you know I am doing 101s. If you would like to connect with me one-on-one, I'm here for you. Everything you need to know is in the description bar below. And if you would like to give to this channel to bless this channel to continue to grow, that would be a blessing. Look in the description bar below or send a super chat. Super thanks down below. All right. Peace and blessings. Mwah.